Today on the HHS-TV nightly DNC recap special here outside of Philadelphia here in 2016. I'm Ricky Sayer along with Ben Feldman. We have some exciting things to share with you tonight, including interviews with
Vermin Supreme, with Micheal, and a lot of other interesting supporters that we met today.
Even Geraldo Rivera. That's all coming up right now on the Harriton Politics Recap Show. So welcome into this exciting new thing we're doing. We'll be doing this for the next 4 days of the convention. We're talking everything that's been going on in politics, specifically at the Democratic National Convention, where we have been going out and seeing what's going on, and it's been pretty cool, if I must say myself. Once again, I'm Ricky Sayer, along with Chief HarritonTV Political Correspondent Ben Feldman. We're streaming on Facebook Live, and we're going to be taking your questions right down there. Hello, Facebook Live. We're having a good time, and yeah, Ben, let's get your thoughts.
So why don't we start with the general election as it is right now? Of course, we've seen Donald Trump win the Republican nomination at the RNC last week, and it seemed to be that the Republicans didn't have unity, as evidenced by the fact that there was still a group of Republicans who would not support Trump no matter what, including Ted Cruz, for example. And it seemed as though that we were going to see a very divided Republican Party and a unified Democratic Party until this scandal that came out, where now Donald Trump is in fact leading in the polls, on national polls, against Hillary Clinton.
So yeah, we spent our day today in Philadelphia going to see the sites, going to, of course, City Hall, going to the protests. This morning I had the opportunity to go and watch the taping of Morning Joe in Center City, Philadelphia at McGillen's Old Ale House. By the way, if you might be wondering, who is that speaking behind us? Ben, can you explain?
Yeah, this is Elizabeth Warren we see speaking behind us. Elizabeth Warren is a senator who some people were expecting Hillary to make her running mate. And of course Tim Kaine was eventually chosen. Elizabeth Warren is quite a personality that I think we'll be seeing in future years, along with Cory Booker, who also spoke tonight.
Yep, that's right. But of course the theme that we've seen this entire election cycle is a lot of new people coming into the fold in politics, and a lot of new ideas becoming important to different people, and that is one of the questions we posed to Geraldo Rivera, who we just happened to find as we returned to our car today. Here's that interview.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Geraldo, give us, what do you expect to see at this Democratic National Convention? How do you think it'll differ from what we all saw at the Republican National Convention?
Well, I think right now you're having a very sour start with the revelation of these emails and Debbie Wasserman-Schultz being forced to resign. So I think you'll see similarly, I mean, there was a lot of disruption at the Republican National Convention the first day also. You had the insurgents trying to have their voices heard. I think that it'll all sort itself out, but right now Trump has surged into the lead, so it's going to be a lot closer than anyone ever thought.
Where do you think it really, in both parties, we've seen a lot over the past 2 years, weakening of the actual parties themselves as new candidates and new ideas in the party come into the. What can you attribute this sudden change in America, thinking differently and voting for different candidates for?
Well, that's an excellent question. I think that Trump clearly has taken over the Republican Party and smashed the existing status quo. And I think that's probably a good thing, although it's scary to some. Change is always unsettling. On the Democratic side, I think that Hillary managed to squeak it out, but what is becoming clear is that the only way the establishment held on the Democratic side was they cheated. So I think change is definitely in the air. I get
Okay. Thank you, Geraldo.
Good luck with you in your career.
Thank you.
Thank you, both of you.
And we are back. That was definitely a cool conversation we had with Geraldo Rivera as we were just leaving the area where the protests were going on, which we will, of course, get to later. Right now, we're going to switch gears talking about the DNC and specifically what happened over the weekend that caused a major shakeup and some major things to go on.
So, of course, as we were saying before, how we were expecting it to be a divided Republican Party and a unified Democratic Party, it now looks like we're going to have two divided parties here because, of course, over the weekend, WikiLeaks released over 20,000 emails that affirmatively prove the process was inherently unfair towards the Sanders campaign. For example, one email showed that the DNC was trying to use Sanders' religion against him, in that he's an atheist and
Well, he's a Jew.
He is Jewish, but he doesn't believe in a god. And
well, no, that's what they're.
Yes, that's what they're trying to use against him, and it made many Sanders supporters very upset that they knew or thought they knew from the beginning that the process was unfair towards Senator Sanders, and is now confirmed through that.
So I want to clarify. So they're arguing that he doesn't believe in God, or has he already come out as saying that he doesn't believe in God?
The issue is unsettled, but that's not the primary focus of this scandal. The focus of the scandal is that the Democratic establishment is trying to make the system unfair so that Bernie Sanders will not win.
Yeah.
And well, we saw that today. We saw when we were interviewing Bernie Sanders supporters, a lot of resentment towards the establishment. We saw a lot of anger towards Debbie Wasserman Schultz and key Democratic officials who Bernie Sanders supporters believed rigged the process. Now, at this opportunity, I think we should show some of the videos we took, interviews with Sanders supporters who were rather upset with the process.
Here are those interviews.
We're protesting the DNC and Hillary getting the nomination.
So you're a Bernie Sanders supporter?
Yes.
Now, do you think that the new DNC chair can do anything to win back Bernie supporters?
I don't believe so, no.
So what action would you advocate at this point?
They need to revamp the whole system because it's all corrupt.
The entire Democratic Party?
Yes.
Now, would you at this point be willing to vote for a third-party candidate, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, for example?
Absolutely.
Now, do you worry that votes for Jill Stein and Gary Johnson are going to be votes for Donald Trump?
No. It's possible, but at least Hillary won't be in there because Hillary should be in jail.
Do you think that Hillary is worse than Donald Trump?
I do.
In what ways?
She's a liar. She's self-involved. She doesn't care about anybody else except for herself.
Well, as you can see, there's an entire rally. It started off as one Bernie Sanders rally, and then a separate Bernie Sanders rally actually joined them, which, as you can imagine, was quite a joyous occasion for everyone here. Now, the protesters here are protesting a variety of issues. You could see anti-police brutality folks, you can see Black Lives Matter groups, and just various anti-Hillary, anti-Trump groups. They're all joined together for their common love of Bernie Sanders, but as you can see, there's quite a variety of people here. I see over here is a young man much younger than I, and all the way up to late Middle Ages here. It appears that they have one speaker at a time come up, and there is no leadership here. It's just various people come up and give speeches about Bernie Sanders. Now, we're right in front of a Philadelphia street that's fairly busy.
Right in front of City Hall.
Yeah, right in front of City Hall. So various drivers who have been coming by, some have been protesting this protest. In fact, there was a man earlier who was using a loudspeaker to convey his message of Jesus Christ. He was not received very well here.
Death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Jesus Christ our Lord.
but it's quite the occasion. You have a few reporters besides us, and everyone here seems to be in agreement over the same principles for Bernie Sanders. They're also all in agreement that Bernie Sanders is definitely going to win the nomination in their minds, to varying degrees of certainty. But in fact, when I interviewed a man somewhere around here, he's over there carrying an upside-down American flag, he was actually 100% certain that Bernie Sanders was going to win the nomination. He wouldn't even address the possibility that Hillary Clinton was going to win the nomination. Now, I'm sure that this group it appears some of those bus riders happen to be in agreement, as it looks like. Interestingly enough, this is a very peaceful protest for people who have so much at stake here, for have spent so much time volunteering for the Sanders campaign, which is a good testament to American democracy. Ironically, at the same time they're protesting that their democracy has been stolen by Hillary Clinton. But we'll see that if this is going to be remaining peaceful. Now, obviously with this WikiLeaks scandal, where emails were released that show the Democratic Party may not have been neutral during this process.
Imagine that.
Now, do you believe that this warrants voting for a third-party candidate? Assuming Senator Sanders doesn't win?
Oh, yes. All of us here that are here for this, if Bernie doesn't get what he deserves because he's got the numbers, we will. And it will be the greatest of number voters. It won't go to Trump, and it won't go to Hillary. It'll go to Bernie.
Would you consider voting for a candidate still in the race, for example, Jill Stein?
No.
Do you believe that a vote for Jill Stein is a vote for Donald Trump?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe it should be. I believe this is the United States of America, where everyone's vote should be counted. We have an archaic electoral college. Get rid of it.
What system would you advocate for in terms of a new system for determining our president?
Well, one, to get rid of an archaic electoral college. B, get rid of super delegates for good, once and for all. A place where money is not allowed to come in to the political frame of it.
So then are you looking for a direct democracy?
Yeah, could you imagine that? Because we call ourselves one. Of course, we're not a democracy. But yes, I would love
a direct democracy as opposed to a representative democracy.
I believe whether it's directive or representative, because this is not even representative. This is a republic. We don't live in a representative democracy. We call it one, but it's not.
Didn't the founders of our country believe that a direct democracy was dangerous?
Regardless of what they believed, because it was a long time ago and they had some things right, but they also had a lot of things wrong because they didn't know where we might be come the 21st century.
Now, obviously, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has just stepped down. What actions do you hope the next chair of the DNC takes in order to solve the problems?
They'll be honest and accountable, and they won't allow people to be murdered just to get who they want elected as president. Seth Rich.
Seth Rich.
Seth Rich. Do you know who Seth Rich is?
I don't.
The young man who lost his life. He worked as an intern for the DNC. He was and came out saying election fraud had happened. He was going to testify, and suddenly he was murdered 2 blocks from his home in Washington, D.C. Nothing on him was taken. Nothing. Yes, I am implying. Yes,
you're accusing the Democratic Party of murder?
Establishment. I'm accusing the establishment. Yes, hello, Vince Foster. Yes, I am.
Now,
yes, I am.
Now, Donald Trump has also been claiming that he's not establishment. He wants to represent the people.
You're establishment when you're a millionaire or a billionaire. You're establishment.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, I believe that they're going to be marching down Broad Street later on today into FDR Park, which is where most of the protests today are going to be held. that is going to be a large source of the protesters in this city. So it'll be interesting to see all of the protesters come together in FDR Park later on. Recording in front of Philadelphia City Hall, I'm Ben Feldman. To the left. To my left.
So, behind me now seems to be a giant inflatable joint. It says legalized, burned by the DNC. It's blown up. People are carrying it directly next to City Hall. This is quite a sight here in Philadelphia around City Hall here during the DNC 2016 here in Philadelphia. Ricky reports here in front of City Hall where protesters have begun marching down Broad Street. These are all Bernie supporters. These are people who support legalizing marijuana. They are quickly encroaching us. We're gonna have to quickly move this way. This is during the 2016 Democratic National Convention, which starts tonight here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They've started to walk down Broad Street, blocking traffic a little bit. This huge crowd of people. That was just a very small sampling of those interviews. So after we were talking about before, it's clear that the Democratic National Committee, they wanted Hillary Clinton to be the nominee. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is now saying that she's leaving her post as chair of the committee or convention at the end of the convention, one of the emails she sent out was that Bernie Sanders will never be president. That was something directly in one of the emails. These email leaks, a lot of people, there's been a lot of discussion that they're the cause of the Russians, and that the Russians are trying to, the Russians want Donald Trump to become president. There's history between Putin and Trump. They seem to have an okay relationship, which is quite interesting, if I must say it, but of course there is no evidence to prove that yet.
Now, in today's work, in covering the protests outside the DNC, what we saw in FDR Park, actually, in Philadelphia, protesters coming together to protest the Democratic establishment, to call for a Bernie Sanders nomination, even though he didn't win enough delegates. And it was interesting to see all of the supporters coming together and
but as you will see, it didn't go all as fully planned. Yes, it planned, but a lot of surprise to see a group, Democracy Spring, which in April was protesting at the Capitol and having a sit-in. They want to get rid of superdelegates. They have for civil disobedience, as you'll hear me talking about in a second. They are the ones who would eventually end up getting arrested, or should I say being issued a civil citation. Ricky reports here on Broad Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, outside of the Democratic National Convention in 2016. Behind me, Democracy Spring protesters coming down Broad Street, approaching here. You may remember a few weeks ago, or months ago, they held a sizable event at Congress, outside of the U.S. Capitol building. There was a giant sit-in. A lot of people were arrested. It was very, very interesting.
And it looks like the police officers here are blocking protesters. The protesters here are demanding entry here, it looks like. Let's see what these people are looking for.
So that's Democracy Spring back in Washington, back in April. Did you hear about that? Or yeah, I got arrested with them. But
you got arrested with them? Tell us about that.
Well, it wasn't that bad. The first day they were actually bringing buses to arrest people. It was on Monday. I think we arrested 300 people. Tuesday it was a lot calmer. But I don't know. I didn't train with them today. They had a training session yesterday. They had one today at 7 p.m.
Do you worry about being arrested?
Me? I mean, I can't get arrested today because I have to be at work at Wednesday, but I got arrested with them once. But yeah.
Are these protesters trying to go beyond police limits?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like I actually stopped the guy telling him they're planning to get arrested. Don't go with them unless you want to get arrested.
Where are they going?
No, they passed the barrier and they're like, the cops have them surrounded.
Okay, move.
Do you think we're going to see a lot of arrests?
With the heat wave, yeah. It's hot. People are angry. They rigged the system. 30,000 emails came out on WikiLeaks, of course.
Thank you for your time.
The police are doing a very good job of holding everyone back, keeping everything calm. Unlike the 2000 convention, they hope to have a very minimal number of arrests, and to do that, they changed a lot of the rules here in Philadelphia. Wait, they want to get her. Step onto the sidewalk. They just said they want to be arrested, and they're going to stand onto the sidewalk. I repeat, these people want to be arrested. If you want to get arrested, stand on the sidewalk. Stand on the sidewalk.
If you do not want to get arrested,
If you do not want to get arrested,
you are safe on the street.
you're safe on the street. I repeat again, all of these people are about to walk onto the sidewalk, risking arrest. They will likely get arrested once they get on to this sidewalk here. Again, Democratic National Convention.
What democracy looks like.
This is what Democracy Spring protesters.
Democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. Right now, 420 people are watching this. We have hundreds of people with our movements. Okay, tell us what you're doing. What do you hope the Democracy Spring? What do you hope it accomplishes? We are Democracy Spring. We're demanding that the Democrats abolish superdelegates. We're demanding that they overturn Citizens United. We're demanding that they ensure voting rights for all people, and we want to make sure that there are publicly funded elections so the Democratic Party can live up to their name. And until they do that, we are going to build a mass movement, and we are a peaceful movement, Democracy Spring, but we are going to show them that people power is more powerful than any power in this country. So all of these people are...
The DNC can't overturn Citizens United. They don't have the authority.
But we're demanding that the whoever is elected president in the first 100 days commit to calling for the overturn of Citizens United. So all of these people are going to go onto the sidewalk and voluntarily get arrested. That's right. It's called civil disobedience. There's a mass movement, and there's a history of civil disobedience in this country. The civil rights movement, the workers' movement, all use these tactics of civil disobedience. So, okay, what's your name again? My name is Andrew Barbado. I'm with Democracy Spring.
Frankly, it's nice to see a lot of police officers here, knowing that it's not going to get too violent, but frankly, I'm worried that it's going to get rather violent rather quickly.
I'm not going to, this is civil disobedience, they're not going to...
Yeah, they've warned us that if we go on the sidewalk, there's a chance we'll be arrested. I don't know how reliable a source that is, but I'm not getting on the sidewalk.
Okay, and we are back after that video, interesting video of those protests. You can see of those things. As of now, at least 18, as we're filming this, at least 18 people have been issued civil citations. That number is likely to go far up. One final thing we're going to talk about here on this first night. We have a whole lot more, but not a lot of time to share it, so we're just going to share with you what we can. We had a little bit of fun talking to some of the people there. We met some big names, as you saw there, Geraldo Rivera. But of course, we also met some other people. We'll keep the last one a secret because, well, not a secret, you already know who it is, but we'll keep it till the end because it was pretty interesting. But first, here's my interview with Michael Shea. Of course, he's the host of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, formerly of The Daily Show, a great comedian. So great, he was really, really nice to us. The producer originally told me that I couldn't interview him, but Michael Shea was like, these kids are in high school, let him interview me. So here is that interview. Okay, not sure how this happened, but I, Ricky Reports, am here with Michael Shea, the host of Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Michael, what are you doing here in FDR Park where the protests are going on here at the Democratic National Convention?
What protests?
Something over there?
I'm here to see the Eagles.
Eagles are still a month or few months away. They just start training camp like tomorrow or something.
Well, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I'm attempting to cover this Democratic National Convention, even though I have no credentials whatsoever.
Oh, you want some credentials? I'll give you mine.
I would love those credentials.
I can't do that. You really think I was going to give you credentials, dude? No. What school is this for?
Harriton High School of Lower Marion.
Well, is that where Kobe went?
He went to the other school in the district.
Oh, okay. This is for like guys that don't play basketball.
All our good basketball players get sent there.
Oh, that's a bummer. We gotta do something about that.
Yeah, it really is. So,
who are you here in support of?
Well, as a reporter,
how did I start out interviewing you?
Okay. Well, as a reporter from my high school TV station, it's important that I stay fair, unbiased, and all of that.
That's a Trump vote if I ever heard one.
Okay. Anything else you want to say to the students at home?
There's nothing else I want to say, but it's really cool to see you guys doing this and taking it seriously.
Awesome. Thank you. Michael Che, everybody.
Yeah. Where's my
What station is this? Harriton High School.
Michael, hi again.
What's up, man?
Stuff. You know, we didn't actually have our microphone working the last time, but we had another microphone on. Because we're not professionals. We don't know what we're doing.
Real quick, because I'm in the middle. But hello, kids. Make sure you pay attention to this young journalist. What is journalist?
Yes, journalist.
What's your name?
Ricky Reports. Ricky Reports.
Ricky Reports. Make sure you pay attention to Ricky Reports. This guy's going to be a stud. Trust me. We're going to sign him. Would you like to work at SNL?
Yes. Do I want to be an NBC page at SNL? Yes. Yes, I do.
Who is that?
I don't know. It's this.
You having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun. How could I not have fun?
God help us.
Thank you.
God help. Oh, he's saying bigots. I thought he was saying something else.
Oh, okay. That happened.
That's I gotta thank Michael for that endorsement there. That was fun. I'll let you take it away for this last one.
Now, I'll note that when we first saw Michael Che, I didn't realize who he was at first because I've only seen him on SNL and never in person. So Ricky was the one who noted it was Michael Che and who ran over. It was quite the opposite because at one point while I was in front of the camera,
as you'll see,
I looked over and I saw Vermin Supreme.
So who is Vermin Supreme for those
Vermin
out there?
Supreme is a presidential candidate. He's been running since 1988, and it was very exciting to see him in person. So here's my interview with Vermin Supreme.
Enjoy.
Now, it's quite a mixed reaction. If you look over there, you can see a woman. Wait a second, is that Vermin Supreme? Oh my God!
What?
That's Vermin Supreme. Excuse me, sir. Are you Vermin Supreme? Would you mind if I interviewed you?
I know.
Oh my God. I'll explain later. I'm here now with Vermin Supreme, the presidential candidate for the last 20 years or so.
At least.
Wait.
At least.
Seriously?
Yes, he's been running in presidential elections. Mr. Supreme, could you please tell us a bit about your platform, your ideas for this country?
Sure. Once again, of course, my name is Vermin Supreme. I'm a friendly fascist. I'm a tyrant that you can trust, and you should let me run your life because I know what is best for you. Now, once again, of course, I stand for 4 basic platform planks, primarily. They are as follows. Mandatory toothbrushing laws. For too long, gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation of ours and must be stopped. Number 2, of course, is zombie preparedness, and of course harnessing the awesome power of zombies to create energy utilizing the latest in giant hamster wheel technology. Number 3, time travel research, the only candidate who will go back in time and kill baby Hitler once and for all. And last but not least, free ponies for all Americans. It is a federal pony identification system. You must have your pony with you at all times. Thank you.
Now, I believe you're also calling for a free pony economy, correct?
A pony-based economy, yes, that is my vision for America.
Now, when was the first time you decided to jump in a presidential election?
1988, I believe, was the first time I tossed my boot into the ring, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. One of these years, I'll get it. I predict 2036.
2036. I'll mark my calendar.
Okay.
Could you explain the boot on your head?
The boot stands for all that is good with America. Also, it is a pile of shit, and the media are the flies that buzz around it. Ha 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 ha.
So why here? Why at the DNC are you mobilizing support?
Well, this is, I have a lot of supporters in the Democratic Party. I have a lot of supporters in the protest community. I have a lot of supporters in the police department in Philadelphia generally. It's a national security event, and I always like to attend them as much as I can to help my constituents freely assemble and exercise their First Amendment rights.
Well, thank you for your time very much, Mr.
Thank
Supreme.
you, sir. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Appreciate it.
Well, I don't even know that. That was something. You'll be able to see online an extended clip of that. I interviewed Vernim Supreme's press secretary. We had some interesting discussions about.
He's part of Vermin Supreme's cabinet.
Yes.
He's the lampshade.
He's the lampshade of the cabinet. I'll leave the link for that in the description. Definitely an interesting conversation. And that is going to do it for the first edition of Harriton High School Television's coverage of the DNC. This is our late night recap. We would like to thank you for watching. For Ben Feldman, I am Ricky Reports.